Okay, hello. We are on Topic B, just starting Topic B, Module 5, Lesson 8 of the 4th grade curriculum for Eureka Math. The objective here is to use the area model and multiplication to show the equivalence of two fractions. We've kind of been doing this a little bit in Lesson 7, so we're going to continue working on this. So we're going to draw an area model that has 2/3. So this area model shows 2/3. Okay. Now, we're going to draw 3 horizontal lines across. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make those a little darker so you can see them. Actually, I'm going to make them in blue. Okay. Alright, so that's our area model. Okay, so what happened to these parts as we added more lines horizontally and partitioned it again? Did they get bigger or smaller? Yeah, they got smaller. And what happened to the number of units? Became more. So we started off with 3 units. See, this is 2/3. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units, or 8/12. Okay. So, in this instance, we're going to have 2/3 is equal to, well, I have how many here? 2. We're going to do this just a little bit different than we did before, more like an area model. So we have 2 this way and 4 this way, so 2 times 4. Over, how many do we have total? 3 times 4. So this is our shaded part. And this is our total number. So if we did 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12. So 2 over 3, which is our original number, times 4, because we partitioned it 4 times, equals 8 over 12. Okay, we're going to do one more. I'm going to flip the paper over. We're going to do it on the back. On this side. Okay. We have let's see, this time I'm going to make 5/6. So I need to draw 5 lines here. And then I have 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to shade in 6 of these spots. I'm sorry, 5 of these 6 spots. So this becomes 5/6. Okay. Now we're going to divide that in half. One time. So we had 5 over 6 equals, we're going to multiply that by 2 now. 5 times 2 over 6 times 2 equals 10 over 12. Now, if we count that out, is that what we end up with? See, we divided it into 2. We had 5 over 6, divided it into 2 spots, so we multiply by 2. Because we're making 2 times as many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's our 10. 11, 12. There's our 12. Okay, one more, then the problem set. Okay, I'm going to take 3/4. Okay, so this is 3/4. I'm going to divide that. Let's see, I'm just going to divide that in half. And then I have 3/4 equals 3 times what? How many times did we make the boxes? 2. And 4 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 8. We have 8 total. Okay, let's move on to the problem set. This is on page 111. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you can read the directions with me. You should have this in front of you as well. The shaded fractions have been decomposed into smaller units. Express the equivalent fractions in a number sentence using multiplication. The first one's been done for you. So we had 2/3. We divided it one time, which made it in half. So 2 times 2 over 3 times 2 equals 4 over 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 6 spots. Let's look at letter B, and then I'm going to have you do C and D on your own. So what did we start with D? We had 1, 2, 3/4. And then that would equal, how many times did we divide it? 3 times. So this would be 3 times 3 and 4 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. Now I want you to pause it, and I want you to do the next two on your own. Okay, I went ahead and did these problems for you, and I would like you to check your work. Okay, now let's look at the number 2. Number 2 says, decompose the shaded fractions into smaller units as given below. Express the equivalent fraction in a number sentence using multiplication. So they want us to decompose into tenths. So if we were going to decompose this into tenths, how many lines would we draw? Well, how many do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we really only need to draw one line. You can dot the line. I think it's harder to see when I dot the line. So I'm going to draw a solid line. So how are we going to write that as our multiplication sentence? Well, we started off with 3/5 equals 3 times 2 over 5 times 2 equals 6 over 10. Okay, now I'm going to do letter B with you, because letter B, we're starting off with the same fraction, 3 over 5, 3/5. But it wants us to decompose it into 15ths. So we need to make this into 15 squares. Well, this one line made it into 10 squares, so I'm thinking that if we do 2 lines, it'll make it into 15 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we're in 15ths. So 3 over 5 equals 3 times, how many times did we make? How many boxes did we make? 3 over the total of boxes, 5 times 3 equals 9 over, oh, this was a 3, right? 9 over 15. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the paper over. I'm going to do a few. I'm going to do one of number 3, one of number 4, and one of number 5, and you're going to do the rest on your own and then come back and check your work. Okay, so draw area models to prove that the following number sentences are true. Okay, so we're going to start with an area model of 2/5. Let me make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So 2/5. So I'm just going to make a box and I'm going to divide it vertically into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's fifths. And then I'm going to divide it again. So I'm going to shade in 2/5. Okay. And now I'm going to divide it again. Only this time I'm going to divide it horizontally into tenths. Well, if I have 5, I only need one line to make it into 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's all they're asking us to do. Okay, so now on letter B, you go ahead and do this on your own. Letter C on your own. Letter C you're going to divide twice. Letter B, I'll go ahead and do the division for you. We'll do this one together and then you do the next two on your own. So I'm starting off with 2/3. Okay, I'm going to use a pencil to shade this in so it's a little bit lighter. So we have 2/3 shaded in. Now we need to make it into 8/12. Well, if I take thirds, I can take it into, let's see, if I do it into 12ths, I have 1, 2, 3, 3 times 4, so I'd have to make 4 lines across. Did you see how that works? There's 3. We want it into 12ths, so we're going to make 4 lines down, just like an area model. 3 lines down to make it 4 spots. So now we have 12ths. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shaded, 8/12. Okay. Number 4 says, use multiplication to find an equivalent fraction for each fraction below. I want you to do 2s, 3s, and 4s. So I'm going to start with, it doesn't tell you what equivalent fraction to make it. It just says making an equivalent fraction. Well, I know that if I take the top number and multiply it by 4, I have to do the same thing with the bottom number. And I would have 12/16. And you can make an area model if you need to understand that. So now I want you to go ahead and do the same thing with B, C, and D. Your answers are going to vary depending on what you're going to multiply it by, but they have to be equivalent fractions. So whatever's on top, you do to the bottom. So let me do D, because D is an improper fraction. Has the top number is bigger than the bottom number. So the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So I'm going to just do this times 2. And then the bottom number would be times 12/7, which is 12/7. 12 times 2, 7 times 2. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. You're going to hear me say that a lot in the next coming weeks. So our answer to that one is 24/14. Okay, let's look at 5. Determine which of the following are true number sentences. Correct those that are false by changing the right-hand side of the number sentence. I want you to go ahead and do those on your own and come back after you pause it, and I'll give you the answer. Okay, I only have 3 seconds, so